Hey, welcome to my channel. These cards are speaking. So I'm going to do a collective message. And we're going to see what Spirit has to say. Use the True Love reading cards as the overall. And then we're going to pull some tarot to see what Spirit has to say. I've been getting a lot of downloads and channeling. Just talking about interdependence, about who we are and like what actually triggers us, why do we allow what we allow, right? If we ask ourselves that, not even just in relationships or think about work, why do we allow what we allow at work? Do we feel not worthy? Do we feel not good enough? It has to be a reason. Are you assessing the situation and then coming up with a solution? If it is, to me, that's a problem. If you are looking at a situation and it's because you feel a certain way about it and it's causing your ego to rise up and wave its hand or wave its head, now you're sitting and assessing the situation of how it could be better. You have to ask yourself, like, why are you allowing that? What's in me that is allowing a type of behavior that is triggering me? Is it fear of speaking up? Is it fear of ruffling the feathers, rocking the boat? But then your boat gets rocked and then you just deal with it and you just harbor it. Just something to think about. All right, Spirit, let's see. First card out. Boundaries. Need to create boundaries. That goes right along what I'm just saying. If you have boundaries, if you create boundaries, then things won't be coming in. I won't say things won't come in and trigger you because, we're constantly healing. But with boundaries, it's only going to come so far. I'm shaking the table. Things are only going to come in but so far because you have the boundaries. When you have a fence and people's walking by or walking towards your house, they only can come so far. That fence has created a boundary. And it's to protect your property. So it's the same thing. What boundaries have you created to protect your heart, to protect your energy, to protect who you are and what God is giving you? The peace of mind. If you have peace of mind, do you have boundaries set not to allow the people come in to disturb it? And it comes from saying no. Learning to be okay with no is a form of boundaries. And that's a hard one. That is a hard one. But we're going to lay out some cards and see what Spirit has to say. Seven of Pentacles. Like you're just watching things happen. You're patiently watching things happen around you. You're not speaking up. You're not saying anything. You are just dealing with it. You are allowing it. You've given them access. The ladder is there. You've given them access. And you're waiting. You're waiting for someone to come fill your cup and to come fill your basket that's on the outside of you. Because there's no boundaries. If there are boundaries, you're not looking on the outside of you for someone to come fill your basket. This is where you are collective. You're walking in the Seven of Pentacles, waiting for someone to come. You're giving them access. People are going to come and go, and they're going to do what they want. And then you or we are left sitting here hoping and wishing and praying that they do what they're supposed to, because you've assessed the situation. You've already looked at the situation, you've analyzed it, and you've come up with a solution. And the solution is requiring someone else to change instead of looking at yourself, saying, I'm the one that needs to change. Because if I change, that ladder won't be there. That a person would not have access to me to come and go as they please and to fill my basket, because no one's come. No one's come. You've given them access and no one's still come. Their basket is still empty. So what you're looking for and what you're desiring, you can see it cannot come from the outside of you. So I cut the deck to shuffle, and it's the Ten of Wands. You are carrying these burdens. You're carrying these burdens, these ideas of how things should be. So-and-so should do this. My person should do this. My colleagues, on the other side, look at that. My colleagues should be, can you see it? I got my arm all twisted. Should be carrying themselves a certain way at work. This is what they should be doing so that my job will be easier. Not necessarily your physical job, if you type it on the computer or stacking or whatever, meaning so that your environment. So I'm not talking about the physical job. I'm talking about so that your environment can be easier, so that you can have a smooth day. But someone else's behavior should not affect your day, because that's them. You need to remove the ladder so that there's no longer access, so that your joy and your happiness, that your basket being full or filled, doesn't come from the outside of you. All right, Spirit, what else you got? The Lovers, which is a choice. The choice is yours. You can flow free like these dolphins. Yeah, you can be flowing free emotionally like these dolphins, or you can sit here and wait. The Spirit saying that the choice is yours. A fiery new beginning awaits you if you choose. This doesn't have anything to do with a relationship or with someone else. This has everything to do with you. You look at this. Look how this person looks. It looks dull. It doesn't look vibrant. It looks like you're just putting up, just dealing, just day by day. This is what it is. This is what I'm supposed to do. But how about some fire, some passion, some vibrancy in life, right? The choice is yours. Two of Swords. You're choosing not to look at it because you're comfortable, complacent. Whatever it is, it's been exposed to you. You have a feeling, you toil over it while you're at work, late at night. Washing dishes or driving down the road, these thoughts are crossing your mind. They're not just crossing your mind just to be crossing it. It's crossing your mind because your higher self is saying that there's more. But you have to choose to look at what is right here in front of you. Are you being complacent? Have you given, you have to ask yourself, have you given someone access that controls your happiness? Have you given access to someone and you're waiting because you've given people access to you that can fill your basket or to make your surrounding, the energy around you, better or happy, right? If so, you're deceiving your own self. And you're looking back like, wow, how? You're looking back and saying, why? And you're looking back and saying, how can I keep coming here? Because you got to get rid of that ladder. You got to get rid of the access to you that was on the bottom of the deck. You got to get rid of the access to you. And stop waiting. Start moving. Stop waiting. Make a decision. And look at what's right there in front of you. What's truly in front of you. And we're not talking about in the physical. We're talking about in the spirit. We're talking about what spirit is trying to get you to see. That's what the procession. I think I heard the word procession of this is. All right, spirit, what else you got for the collecting? The Wheel of Fortune. It's constantly turning. I'm hearing you can come back here again and again and again as many times as you want. It's your life. This wheel is yours. It's constantly turning. And you can turn and come back here. Or it can turn and not come back here because you've learned the lesson from this. You've learned what you needed to from here. That you don't need to look to the outside of you to be fulfilled. You need that you've removed that access to you. That you've gotten rid of the ladder. And now that wheel can turn and stop somewhere else because you've got that lesson. You've nipped that in the bud. The bottom of the deck. That cycle will end. That is an awesome word. All right, Spirit, what else you got? Let's do a few more. Justice. Within you, you want balance. You don't want it to be like that anymore. It's one-sided. It's one-sided. It's like you're stuck in a waiting pattern, in a waiting position. Will this be the one? Will this job be the one? Will this outfit be the one? Whatever it is. It don't necessarily have to be a relationship. This is whatever that you're turning to on the outside of you to fill this basket, to make it fulfilled. You want balance. You want balance within yourself. You want, if you give, that you get back. Right? You want that if you don't give, that you're still given to. Because you know how to reciprocate when needed to. That is learning balance. You know, knowing also when to receive. That you don't always have to give, but that if you do receive, it's not out of you've been waiting to be fulfilled from the outside of you. It's because you have given, because there is a balance. Right? Your mindset would change. Because you'll still be given to. People will still give to you. Things will be given to you. But you will now be in the mindset of it being a balance. Because you're balanced on the inside. Because right now, it's all external. It's all external. Three of Cups is celebrating the new you. You, yourself, and I have come together and collaborated and said enough is enough. That this is what we do now. This is how we do now, right? The Seven of Wands, learning to protect yourself. So going from, and this was the bottom of the deck, so you're going to go from the Seven of Pentacles of standing and waiting, being in this waiting pattern because you've given people access to you. They can come and go as they please. You got a little from this one, you got a little from this job, but still not totally being fulfilled. To the Seven of Wands of protecting yourself, protecting your heart, because you know what serves you now, because you're balanced on the inside, internally, right? You've got those boundaries in place now. You, yourself, and I with the Three of Cups. Judgment. Yep. The Spirit saying it's time. Why? Because he sees. He sees and knows your higher self is talking. You're talking. Because you know that it's more. The Judgment card to me is a declare thing. You're declaring a thing that there's a new sheriff in town. You're declaring that the old you collective is being put to rest, because there's some boundaries in place now. You've tapped into the inner magician, manifesting who you want to be, how you authentically want to show up in life. Wow, that's awesome. How you authentically want to show up. You are going to be the magician of your life. You know, if you're the co-creator with Spirit and designing your life, you got to know that. You got to feel it. You got to believe it. And then you got to move. If you've been given everything to make it happen and you're choosing not to look at it, you know, you got to make a choice to look at it, to believe it, so that you won't keep going around that cycle. You yourself, and I. You, yourself, and I. That is awesome. Let's do a Divine Abundance card. Let's put that one back. Hold on. Divine Abundance. Spirit, what do you have for the collective? 1808 is on the clock. And then we do some Wisdom Oracle, and then we'll be done. Divine Abundance. What do you have for the collective? Divinely. What do you have to say to the Divine Abundance? With the Divine Abundance. Change. Amen. I felt that in my throat chakra. Change. The Seven of Pentacles. You know. Tap into your divine source. Your divine source. Make that change. Don't give people access to you. And then you're just in this waiting pattern. No, show up and be the authentic you. And feel free and feel great about it, you know? All right, this is the Wisdom Oracle cards. Make sure I got them all. All right, Spirit, what wisdom you want to impart? I'm going to do some of these and we'll read one. Thank you for the messages so far, Spirit. I thank you for giving wisdom and insight for those who are watching, how they can be authentically themselves. Show them how they can show up for themselves, that they don't have to give access to other people to fill their basket, that they are worthy of them, they're worthy themselves to fill their basket, Father, I ask that you help them to see that whomever, people, jobs, or whatever that doesn't serve them, that they can walk away from it. Not even physically, but they can walk away from it mentally, so that it is always a balance and justice within themselves and not externally. Let them see who their source is. And their source is you, divine. And I thank you for it. Cards flipped around. In Jesus' name. All right. Guilt. Yeah. Sometimes with saying no and creating boundaries comes with guilt. Because for so long, you've taken the brunt of it. You've taken the hurt. You've taken the pain of it at the expense of other people because you've given them access to you. But you have to learn that no is no, boundaries are boundaries. And if the other person that you no longer given access to is hurt by it, that's something that they have to deal with. Right? It's not your problem to process and fix someone else being hurt or triggered by you saying no. And if they are, that's all I'm gonna say right there. It's not your problem. And then the bottom of the deck is enlightenment. Awesome. Let's put that there. And let's read enlightenment. It's the yellow card. Let's see, hold on. Yellow is the solar plexus. Solar plexus. Enlightenment. Here we go. Let me hold this up so that you can see. See, if I seek peace, I must embrace my fears. Topaz is a renowned spiritual teacher. People travel to hear his wisdom. He is journeying up a mountain to seek private counsel with the great servant when a young boy stops him. The boy asks, if enlightenment is to be found in my own mind, how do I get there? The moment before he disappears into the mist, Topaz replies, through your fears. Wow, that is awesome. So fears is how you get enlightened, because you're facing it. You're getting to the bottom of it. You're looking at it. You're looking at you're choosing to look at what's right in front of you. And just like with this moon, whatever's being exposed or whatever being revealed, so that you can walk through it and then you can make the change. So the enlightenment in this case, or the fear, could be what happens if I don't allow people access to me. You know, will people still love me? Will people still accept me? Will people like the authentic me? Yes, they will. Yes, they will. Key ideas is path to enlightenment, the reluctant saga, taking time alone to connect. Amen. You take that ladder down. No longer people don't have access to you. You will be alone to connect. Trusting your intuition, needing solitude, time for reflection. Awesome. Support, courage, and confidence. You know, and the 4 cups. Is it the 4 cups? Yeah, the 4 cups, it's what's coming to mind. You know, let me see if I can find it. The 4 cups is the, and the 4 swords. The 4 swords, let me find the 4 cups. Is someone sitting under the tree and someone is offering them something. I'm sure you've seen it before. And so that's what I feel like. That's what that solitude is. It's probably going to be the very last card. 4 Cups. And someone's offering you something. And the Four Cups, they're like not bothered, not interested. And that's where the mind that you have to be in. Yo, look at that. It was next to the last card. You know, I'm gonna feel like this is where you need to be. You need to go from the Seven of Pentacles, allowing people to have access to you, to the Four of Cups. And it's not necessarily being bored with what they offer you, but you're just not going to accept anything, you know. And you'll be in this resting stage, meditating stage. Okay. Those were just some extras. I went through the whole deck to get them. I hope you got something from these cards because they have spoken, collective. If you did, comment, let me know. Like that you are receiving the messages. It helps me connect with your energy. And that, you know, basically that, like, it might not necessarily be your story, but, you know, it just lets me know that you did get something from it. All right. All right, I'm steadily shuffling and we're done. Till next time.